Sunday morning before Memorial Day. Gorgeous weather outside. I hope wherever you are, you can enjoy the weather that we have this morning here in beautiful Nashville. And let's go ahead and get started and embrace this day with a wonderful practice. Today we are going to be moving through some asana that are designed to open the hips and pelvis. Maybe it's just me, but I've had a little bit of tightness in that area in the last few days, and this morning I just woke up and felt like, oof, that would really feel good. So hope that feels good to you as well. It usually does. There's almost never a time when opening the hips isn't beneficial and provides some level of relief to just the feeling of tightness, maybe a little soreness. Sometimes that comes around to the lower back. So hope you enjoy this one today. Let's go start off in Sukhasana, also known as easy pose. So find your ease. It doesn't mean that it's always easy, but what it means is we want to find the ease that's possible in our body. So if that means sitting up on a meditation pillow or a blanket, even a bolster, letting the knees drop down a little bit lower than the pelvis can sometimes create more of an ease in Sukhasana. So just find the variation that works best for you. And let's go ahead and begin. So we're going to start with a little bit of breathing exercise this morning. So allow your eyes to close if you will, or bring your gaze softly down your nose. Let your hands rest gently in your lap. Palms can be up or down, whichever you feel speaks to you more with your emotions and what you need today. Palms up generally refers or brings to mind a feeling of receiving information, receiving energy from the universe. Palms down means that you are trying to ground yourself and allow yourself to settle down. So determine which might feel better for you today. Start to bring your awareness to your seat and to the surface below your legs. Feel the stable surface below their legs and just notice all of the parts of your legs and feet that are connected to this surface. Allow your spine to grow, extend upward toward the sky, lifting but not straining to lift. Again, we're in easy pose, Sukhasana, so we are looking for just a place where we feel stable and yet lifted, allowing energy to flow up and down the body. Soften the muscles of your neck on either side that connect your shoulders up into the jaw. And let your shoulders drop down, the weights of your elbows reaching down toward the floor. So we're going to begin with a little bit of breathing called box breathing. It's just a really nice way to ground your body, to calm your mind. It's a really wonderful method if you ever feel anxious or sort of stirred up. You can use this method so that your parasympathetic nervous system responds and almost immediately calms mind and body. So we're going to begin with a count of 4 on the in-breath. We're then going to hold the breath for a count of 4. We're going to release the out-breath for a little longer count. So we're going to go to a count of 6 and then hold it at the bottom for a count of 2. So it's a little bit of an oblong box. We're not going to do a 4-4 breath. We're going to do a 4-4-6-2. So just follow along. I'll do the counting, and all you have to do is breathe. Let's begin. Take a deep inhale for a count of 4. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and hold for 2. 1, 2. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Suspend the breath for 2. 1, 2. Inhale deep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and suspend for 2. 1 and 2. One more time, counted with me. 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. Count to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and suspend for 2. 1, 2. Continue on your own, counting, keeping that rhythm and pattern. We're going to go around 3 more times, just counting softly to yourself. Feeling the body adapt to the rhythm, adapt to the sense of expansion as each in-breath gets a little stronger, holding more energy. Keep it going. Just one more time around, wherever you are, make this your last round. And release, suspend, beautiful. Begin to open your eyes, bring your gaze forward. Hopefully we all ended around the same time. Very nice. All right, so we're going to take the legs. We're going to keep our seat here for just a moment. We're going to bring the feet forward. And Sukhasana is a little bit, it's definitely a hip opener, but it's a little bit of a gentle opening with the hip. This time we're going to let the knees come open a little bit wider and come into Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. So bringing the soles of the feet pressing toward each other. We're going to lift up nice and tall through the lower back. And your diamond can be very narrow with the feet up toward the groin. It can be wider with the feet further away. Find whatever speaks to you this morning. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, begin to gently walk your hands forward, stretching into your lower back. Not worried about how far down you fold. But I really want you to feel the sensation in the lower back as the hips begin to release. If it helps, bring yourself back to another round of the box breath. Sometimes that's a really nice way to help yourself concentrate and anchor yourself with breath and direct your sensation and your awareness to the hips and lower back. Take one more long breath, dropping into Baddha Konasana a little bit deeper. The more you can let go of the muscles around your hips, the more deeply you'll feel the sensation of opening. All right, inhale, slide your hands backwards, bring those knees up to center, and we're going to come onto our seat, but with the legs extended down the mat. So, I hope I said in the notes, I think I said in the notes to bring a strap. So we're gonna bring our strap around the balls of the feet, extending the legs long. And bring your legs about hip distance apart so that your femur and your knee and the shin bone are all in line, your feet are flexed, and then let your elbows come right back to your sides of your body. Lifting up, we're going to press down through the sits bones, engage the crown of the head to reach up toward the ceiling. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hinge forward gently, just as we did in Baddha Konasana, but as you come forward, you can wrap the strap around your fingers maybe once to shorten the strap and keep the tension there on the strap as you draw your heart forward. Now remember, the heart needs to reach forward as if you're trying to push your breastbone between your feet, which of course we won't be getting that far, but just directionally and energetically feel the heart reaching forward. Your neck is nice and long, a part of your upper spine. Relax your shoulders a little bit, but keep the tension on the strap. Each breath, lifting up slightly, expanding, maybe getting a little bit more space in the back, and then exhaling, hinging forward. Obviously, this is a stretch for the back of the legs, for the hamstrings as well. So go slowly. Find the edge of your stretch where you feel a deep engagement but not any pain. Take another breath. Keep stretching forward one more time. And then inhale, come on back up to the top. Keep the strap on the left foot, bend your right knee, and bring your right foot to the inner left thigh. You're going to take that stretch the very same way, this time just with the left leg extended. Right knee drops out to the side. Inhale up, exhale, and forward fold. And as you fold forward this time, the same kind of motion, but notice if you feel any different sensations arising in the hips and pelvis. Slightly alter the position of the pelvis through the opening of the right leg. So sometimes you'll feel this in an entirely different place as the hips begin to open and release. Heart is reaching forward still towards your left foot, coming down maybe a little closer to your knee. One more breath. Janusthasana, head to the knee pose. Inhale and bring it up to center. Extend your right leg down, transfer the strap just to the right foot only. Take Janusthasana to the other side, left knee out. So your hip is opening widely, as wide as it feels appropriate. Lift up nice and tall with that right leg extended, and then hinge forward once again. Notice if there's any difference in the right and the left leg. Are you maybe holding tightness in one hip a little differently than the other? Soft breathing again. If it feels like it helps you, you can take a round of the box breath. It's a very great way to anchor your breath. exhale and come on back up to the top. Release the strap. Just lay it off to the side. We're going to use it again here in a moment, so just keep it at arm's length. Bring your knees underneath and let's come to tabletop position. Go ahead and come to tabletop. Structure it so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. Hips and knees are in alignment. Press down through your palms and feel the energy lift up through the upper back so that your shoulder blades feel the energy rising up and stretching them to either side of your body. Lower abdominals also reach up, hugging your lower back. Feel this wonderful support from the core body throughout the spine. And then keeping all of that support in place, keep your square nice and strong. We're going to lift the right knee up off of the mat and start some hip circles with the right knee, right hip circling around, just thinking of that ball and socket joint making a perfect circle around and around. And again, keeping the core muscles engaged, using your gluteal muscle in the back to squeeze and lift and control the rotation. One more time around this direction and then circle your knee the other way. Go nice and slow so you can really feel all of the muscles engaging, all the sensation in your body. Stay mindful and true to your purpose. All right, bring that knee around one last time, and then we're going to cross the knee over. The left in the back. My legs are now crossed. I'm going to sit back. We're moving into Gomukhasana. If you need to take a block, or if you'd like to sit down on a block instead of bringing your seat all the way down in between your feet, grab a block and just stick it underneath there so you've got some support. Again, it often helps to have the knees a little lower than the pelvis to alleviate any strain in the pelvis. So now my knees are stacked one upon the other, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take the strap again. Hopefully you still have it within arm's reach. And just fold it over if you want to. It doesn't have to be very long. We're going to throw that strap over the left shoulder. So now it's reaching down the back. I'm going to take my right fingers and help and coax my left elbow straight up to the ceiling, just so you feel a nice little stretch there in the tricep. So from the underarm up to the elbow, you don't need to strain. And if you have any shoulder issues and this isn't appropriate, then you don't have to take the arm. You don't have to take the arm part of this pose, but just coax that elbow up if you can. And then we'll take the right hand around to the back of the body. Again, see if you can just grab hold of the end of the strap. Once again, any pain, please back off and just find a modification or rest the area that is painful to you. I actually have a little bit of issue with my right shoulder right now, so I'm not going to reach that strap up very high with my right hand. I'm just going to let it kind of hang there in the bottom and feel the support. Now relax into your hips. Take the awareness from the top of the body down to the hips and softly let your hips just sink down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale again. Exhale. One more breath. Exhale. Release the strap. Let it drop off to the side of your mat. Place your hands down on the mat. Walk them forward. Unwind your legs. Bring them back to the beginning in tabletop position. Bring all the engagement back into the body as we did before. And when you're ready, lift your left knee up and start the circles with the left knee. So you can tell if you have all of the support in place if the body stays still and only the knee and leg are moving. If If you don't have that, then you're going to get into this wobbly, loosey-goosey situation and nothing is stabilized. So make sure that you're just being very mindful about this movement. You're going to get the most benefit if you take care to do so. Next time you come around, let's change the rotation of the circle. Just bring that leg up and around the other way. Are you still breathing? Bring yourself back to the breath. And then the next time the knee comes down, we're going to cross the left knee over the right. Grab a block if you know you want to sit down on a block instead of all the way down in between your feet. If you're okay sitting between your feet, then just let your hips come right down in between your ankles and settle down onto the mat. Again, let's take the strap once again. This time we're going to throw it over the right shoulder. Take those left fingers first. And before we try to do anything else, we're just going to coax that right elbow up. Just a gentle coaxing so you feel the stretch in the tricep. We don't often stretch those triceps, so they may be a little tight. So just make sure you feel the stretch that's right for you. And then we'll take the left hand around to the back. And if it feels okay, hold on to the strap. Just a little gentle support here. We're not trying to strain or crank that arm backwards. And then go ahead and bring your awareness back to the hips. A lot going on in Gomukhasana. So keep lifting energy up through the spine. As you exhale, release and let the weight drop down into your seat. Relaxing those hips. One more breath. Nice. Exhale and let go of the strap. Let's throw that off to the side. Bring hands forward. Walk them back up to table position and sit back up at the beginning once again. Inhale and drop your belly down. Let the heart reach forward for cow tilt. And then exhale up into cat. Inhale, come back to table position. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Take one extra breath here as you settle in to your first downward dog. Really lengthening through the lower back. Gently pressing into one hip and then the other by lifting each alternate heel. Sometimes just lifting a little heel and pushing back into the other hip feels really nice. Alright, back into downward dog. Lift both heels up as high as you can and then exhale, let them lower down. Inhale, come forward to plank position. And then exhale, drop down. Go ahead and lower your knees. Let the belly roll down onto the mat. As you fully exhale, your next inhale deeply lifts you up. Come into a cobra, low, medium, or high, whatever you're feeling today. Just reach the heart forward, a little back bend. And then exhale, let it come right back down. Inhale, press yourself up to table position. Exhale again in tabletop. Now we're going to roll through that one more time, but as one continuous flowing motion. So move with your breath and let's go together. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale to table. Exhale to dog. Next inhale comes to plank. Exhale, lower down, drop those knees. Exhaling fully, all breath releases as you come down to the ground. And then inhale up for your cobra. Exhale, lower it down again. Inhale, press back up to table position, and then exhale back, child's pose. Let your hips just fall backward on your knees. Tailbone curls down, breathe into your lower back. Take 3 full breaths here. One more. Deep inhalation, come back up to table position. Exhale back to downward facing dog, lifting those hips high once again. We're going to lift the right leg up for a 3-legged dog. So lift the right foot off the mat. Press back with your toes, lifting it as high as it feels good for you. And then bend the right knee. We're going to push the right foot over to the left side of your mat as your hips open up to the right, coming into upward scorpion. Push the foot away. Deep breath here through the pelvis. And then bring your hips bone back square again. And from here, we're going to bring the right foot all the way forward into a lunging position. Low runner's lunge. Breath in with a long spine. Breath out, lower your left knee down. Pause here with the left knee down, just allowing yourself to sink into the hips a little bit. So just let the weight kind of fall down into the center of your body. Your hands can be on blocks if that feels easier and better. And just stretching that psoas, the left hip flexor. Enjoying where you need a little extra tension release. Wonderful. Take one more breath here. And then from this position, we're going to take the right hand with or without the block, take it into the inside of the right foot. So move your right hand position to the inside of the foot. And then heel toe the right foot over to the right. So toes out, heel out, toes out one more time. Now your knee is pointing out at an angle from the body. You can feel that right hip opening. This is lizard pose. So we're going to stay in lizard for a few breaths. Bring the right hand back up and under the shoulder. So position the right hand so it's more in line with the shoulder again. And from here, if you want to, you can come down lower onto the forearms. Take a little weight off those wrists. Let your body just sink forward. If that is too low, keep your blocks a little bit higher. You can still come down to forearms and support yourself. If that's a little too intense still, then you can stay up with your hands, with your arms straight. Let the weight of your body, again, just release into those hips. Gravity is doing the work here. Let the muscles go. This is very much a yin posture, so we are giving it time for the posture to marinate and allow the tension to release. It doesn't happen quickly, it happens with time. Just let your head drop down. You can release into the back of your neck a little bit if that feels good. One more breath here. And then go ahead and if you had your arms folded. Bring your hands back up underneath the shoulders. Heel toe the right foot back up underneath so that the knee and ankle are back in line. Lift the left knee up and slide the right leg back to downward facing dog. Nice deep stretch into the lower back and hips. Lift those hips as high as you can toward the ceiling. Heels lifting up, and then press your thighs to the back of the mat as the heels descend down. Full breath here. Exhale, come on down to your knees. Take it to child's pose for a breath. You may want to take the weight off of your arms, especially if you had your arms straight during lizard pose. Find your ease here for another breath. Everything just marinate. Really start to soften up. And then you can bring your hands forward once again. Lift your knees up. We'll move back to Adho Mukha Savasana one more time. Downward facing dog. This time we're going to lift the left leg up. So press that left leg up for three-legged dog. Toes reaching up and out. Nice full extension of that leg, and then bend the left knee. Let your heel drop down, and then push your left foot over to the right. You might even slightly look up under your left armpit. If you look the other way, you might see your left foot. Just opening that left hip now. Don't create any strain. If this creates any pain in the lower back or SI joint, then don't take it so extreme. Bring your hips back in line again. Let the left foot come forward. We're going to come back to low lunge position. So left leg swings forward. And then as soon as you get into a nice long lunging position, let that right knee slowly descend down. Let it float down to the mat. Nice long line now here on this right hip flexor. So again, we're just going to hang here for a minute. You can use your blocks. The point is to let gravity start to work on the hips little by little. Wherever you feel that you can relax the muscles and let yourself go, you may sink a little deeper and a little deeper. Now we're going to move from this position into lizard pose. Taking the left hand, bring your hand or your block to the middle of your mat on the inside of your foot. Point your toes out, heel out, toes out one more time. Reposition your arms underneath your shoulders. So now my left hip is opened up, knee is pointing off of the mat. If you want to stay here with your arms straight, that is the best position for you, then stay here. If you want to bring your forearms down on the blocks, you could certainly bring them all the way down to the mat if you wanted to go that far, but honor your body for where it is today. Some days I could go all the way down. Today I'm going to take it a little bit more gently. My hips are really tight today, so I am going to be gentle with myself, and you should too. Breathe into the back and the pelvis and that left hip. See if you can soften the muscles. Gluteal muscles, the buttocks, inner groin. Back to your box breath if that helps you to focus. Start to lift up. If you had your forearms down, come back up to straight arms. Heel toe the left foot back up so that the toes are in the center, knees over the ankle. Lift the right knee up and once again slide the left leg back. Take it to downward facing dog. Oof. Deep, deep stretch. Lengthen through the lower back. And this time we're going to walk our feet up to the front of the mat. Come on up for a forward fold, Uttanasana. Lifting up, standing up for the first time today. All the way up, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, take the right hand down by your side. Left arm is going to reach over your ear. Inhale, both arms up. Left hand drops down by your side. Right arm cascades over the ear. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. From forward fold position, widen your feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. So they're probably a couple of inches from the side of the mat, either way. Let your head drop down. You can soften your knees slightly. And in fact, go ahead and bend that left knee very generously. Take your left hand, walk it over to your right foot or ankle. Let your left shoulder drop down. Bring your right arm into a T off the shoulder, and then turn your belly and heart to the right, eventually lifting the right arm up as you go. Uttanasana with a twist. Now connecting that sensation all the way down the right leg. Do you feel it? IT band down to the ankle. Oof. Exhale, bring the right hand back down. From here, we're going to keep those feet nice and wide, just the way they are, but you're going to bring your heels slightly in and point your toes even further out. So you've got a pretty good space between your heels. Your toes are pointing out. We're going to start to bend the knees. We're coming down into Malasana, also known as garland pose. So letting your booty come right down toward the mat. Again, grab a block if you know that this is more appropriate for you to have a support underneath your seat. Maybe that helps alleviate some tension in the knees. Either way, find your support by dropping the seat down, letting your back then rise up. So even if you're sitting on a support, see if you can stretch your back up, lengthen through your neck so that your neck is really reaching up and forward. You're probably not straight up and down, you're more at an angle, so you're at a diagonal, but it's a straight line. Now, if you feel okay here, take your hands together at your heart. Press your elbows into your inner knees. Heels can either be up or down. If you can't bring your heels all the way down, that's okay too. You can stay up on the toes and just allow yourself to feel that support between your legs. Breathe here. Deep inhale. Exhale. Exhale again. All right, now we're going to take the hands behind us. If you're on the blocks, you may want to help yourself by pulling that block away a little at a time, because we're going to come off the block and let the seat come all the way down to the mat. Just come back onto your forearms. We're not going to go all the way down. Cross the right leg over the left and just squeeze your thighs together. Just squeeze them together. So this is obviously rotating those hips toward the inside. Every time we take a deep stretch pose, we want to try to take a counter pose so that we let everything rebalance. And squeeze those thighs one more time. See if you can push your feet in the opposite direction, pushing them off the sides. Oof. All right, uncross your legs. Come back up to your feet. Just push yourself forward, help yourself up with your hands. And then lift the booty up, come right back to forward fold. Bring your feet back so that they're a little wider than hip distance. Let's lift up one time, stretch and reach all the way up to the top so we really get a nice extension. Exhale and fold forward again. Little bend in the knees, a giant bend in the right knee, taking your right hand over to reach to your left foot or ankle. Left arm comes into a T, and let's start by moving into the twist. Moving your belly and heart, and eventually bringing the shoulder and arms up. Soften and relax. Bring that left arm slowly back down. Hands come to the support, blocks or the mat. And now once again, push those, pivot on your heel so that your toes are pressing out at a 45-degree angle. Start to come down again. We're going to take Malasana a second time. So coming down, build the seat support as needed. Letting your body come back down into your froggy squat. Hands come to your heart as you're ready. Lift up. Keep breathing, focusing, anchoring into the presence of your breath. Releasing so much tension in the hips today. Even if you don't think you have it, believe me, it's there. So wonderful. Last breath out. And then we're going to roll backwards once again. So take your hands behind your body. Come off of the seat support if you had it in place. Just pull that block out of the way. Roll back onto your forearms. Lift your knees up. This time, left leg crosses over the right. Take the shoelace pose. And just squeeze your thighs together. Back up, uncross your legs, come back to your feet, just walk the hands up to help yourself. Lift back up, one more forward fold, rise all the way to the top. Exhale, release your hands down by your side. And do one little flowing sequence with some standing poses. And then we'll come on down. So we're going to start with the left leg back. Let's take it to Warrior Two. So right toes are forward. Bend into the right knee. Remember your femur. There should be a nice straight line coming from your hip bone down through your femur and your knee, and then right into your ankle and foot. So making sure that your knee is not collapsing inward, but rather coming straight forward. Your left foot is at a 45-degree angle, pointing up to the left corner of your mat. Now the hips are open. We say the hips are open to the left, and they are, but that doesn't mean they have to be completely level to the left. Your hips are always going to have a little bit of an angle here, and that's just because that's how the pelvis is built. And we don't want to even try to extend that too far over, because you will definitely tweak something in the lower back and in the SI joint. So we want to make sure the hips feel nice and comfortable. So with this nice Warrior Two legs, Let's open the arms. Lift up through the spine. One more breath. And then we're going to straighten the right leg. We're going to push back into the left hip, pressing it toward the back of the mat. And then take the right fingers and reach them forward. So two opposing forces. Left hip pushing back, right fingers reaching forward. Reach as far as you can, and then bring your right hand down. Reach for your shin or a tall block, and your left arm will float up as we move into Trikonasana triangle pose. 3 breaths here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Really nice. From triangle pose, we're going to lift back up. Take 1 more warrior 2, dip into the right knee. And then take the left arm, reach it forward, step forward with the left leg. Inhale. Arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up once again, and step back with the right leg. So establish your warrior 2 legs. Look down at that left leg, femur, nice straight line to the knee, to the toes. Back leg is strong, and then you can lift your arms up and reach them in both directions. Breath here. 2 more. Last one in warrior 2. And then straighten the left leg. Push that right hip back. Really pop that right hip back like you're trying to pop your booty toward the back of the room. Left fingers reach forward. Reach, reach, reach out over your toes, and then bring the left hand down. Let it reach for your shin, or again, grab a block, put it on the tall side if you wish. Right arm floats up. Heart is looking toward the right. Your neck is nice and long, so don't let the neck fall down or crank up. But the neck, always an extension of the upper spine. Beautiful. 1 more breath. Inhale, engage the core, the abdominals to lift up. Dip into the left knee 1 more time. Swing the right arm toward the front. Step, giant step forward. Inhale up. Exhale and forward fold. Walk the feet backwards. Come into downward facing dog. Again, maybe pressing into one hip and then the other, gently lifting one heel at a time. Really feeling what therapy we're giving to the lower back and hips today. And then come on down to your knees. And let's take a child's pose. Rest your arms. You can bring them behind you or fold them in front, whatever feels best. 3 full, expansive breaths. All right. Slide your hands, come forward, come down to your seat. We were going to do pigeon today too, but you know what? We did lizard for so long, I think that's going to take the place of pigeon. So we're going to roll on down and come down to the back. Oh, that's good too. Place your feet about hip distance apart. And you're just going to take the very slightest of pelvic tilts here. So just enough so that your back, your lower back sort of flattens down and you feel a little bit of massaging support into what's known as the lordosis, or that curve of the lower back spine. So just pressing that down so you sort of flatten it for a moment. And then just release it, come to a completely neutral spine. Lift your knees up. Bring your feet up to the ceiling. Widen your knees. Slide your hands up your legs. Let's bring it to Happy Baby, Ananda Balasana. Holding onto your shins or your ankles or maybe the outside of your feet. Open your knees as wide as they feel appropriate. Let them drop down towards your armpits. And breathe here in Happy Baby. Relax your shoulders. Maybe let a little smile play on the corners of your eyes, the corners of your lips. Allow yourself to feel the joy of your body, the release of tension. Shifting energy around. All right, if you want to rock back and forth while you're still in Happy Baby, you can get a little motion, massaging the spine. As you're ready, bring your feet together. Bring them down to the mat. Now, I should have had you grab your bolster before this. I was going to have us come up into a Stonehenge. So if you have your bolster nearby, let's just go ahead and do that, because I thought that would feel really nice for our Shavasana today. So we're going to build a Stonehenge support, 2 tall blocks, the bolster on top. If you prefer just to lay flat on your back, you can do that too. These are always just suggestions, especially for Shavasana. But this feels nice because it helps to elevate the legs. It takes a little bit of the curve off of the lower spine. So again, it just helps to drop the pelvis down, the belly drops toward this support below. And it usually really feels nice on the hips, buttocks, thighs. So just relax here with your legs up. If you're so inclined, you can come back to the anchor of your box breath. You don't have to do it to a count of 4. You could do it to 3 and 3. So it helps you to relax or find focus with a counted breath. Sometimes it's a nice method to be able to help your mind focus and keep it present instead of wanting to wander off to what you have to do ahead. It's what it wants to do. Just soften your body down, release and relax. And feel the glow of softened energy into the hips and pelvis. expansive breath into your chest. Let it out through the mouth. Softly bring your hands to the outside of your hips and press the heel of your hand in circles on the outside of each hip and leg connection. Just giving yourself a little massaging, loving touch. And then slowly begin to bend your knees. Bring them up off of the support. Little by little, you can help yourself up by rolling to one side. Come on back up to your seat. How those hips feel now compared to when we started. A little different, huh? Let's inhale up. Close our practice by drawing the energy up, reaching for the source of all life and light. And then drawing and connecting to that source at our heart center. The light in me is honored and grateful for the light within you. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Om Shanti and Namaste.